I'm First Warning Weather Meteorologist Phil Kelly here for a little update on what we are expecting. We're still about 7 hours away from the very strong and the heaviest snow showers coming in. You can see we've got a little bit of upper level moisture, a lot of this not reaching the ground. I was just outside, did not see anything here over Franklin County. Look how far this moisture goes back, how large this whole storm system is. So from El Paso, Texas, all the way here to Columbus, Ohio, more than 1,500 miles. So yes, we are seeing a lot of people being affected by this, and a lot of our big snow is still back here just to the west of the Mississippi. So we're starting to get a little bit of accumulating snow into parts of Indiana, Illinois, also parts of Kentucky. Glad I'm still seeing that freeze line down into Tennessee, because it does look like as this storm continues to move off to the north and east, we could see a little bit of a mix down around the Ohio River. I think most of us in central Ohio, areas north of I-70, we're going to be okay. Just keeping it all snow. So a lot of people have asked, okay, this is a lot of snow we're talking about, 8 to 12, 14 inches. Is this going to be a blizzard? Or why are you not referring to this as a blizzard? Well, simple. There are two rules for being a blizzard. Winds have to be 35 miles an hour, sustained, not gusts. So it needs to be blowing at 35 miles an hour with visibilities reduced to a quarter mile or less. Those conditions must persist, both of those, for 3 straight hours. Then we can call it a blizzard. Notice there is no snow component. It can be 2 inches, it can be 4 inches, it can be 15 inches for it to be a blizzard. It's literally just those two rules for 3 or more hours. Our winds are not going to be that bad. Our winds are going to be gusty at times, but it's not going to be sustained at 35 miles an hour. We'll have winds at 10 to 20. When is this snow coming? Late tonight and mainly on Sunday. Sunday's really our alert day. How much are we talking? In excess of 8 inches of snow, pretty much for everybody. Some of us will see double that. Some of us will see a little bit less, but I think above 8 inches for everybody is what we're going to see. So Sunday will be the day that you really need to just stay home if you can. Avoid traveling. The problem is, this is only one component of the storm. These frigid temperatures, if you've been outside, you know how cold it already is. So these frigid temperatures don't only stick around for tomorrow, but really for the week ahead. So this snow is not going anywhere anytime soon. You see the QR code there. If you have not downloaded the free First Warning weather app, you can do that in your app store. Just search Ohio WX. We will be here around the clock updating things. 14 out at the airport. Feels like 1 though. If you've been out, yes, the wind has a bite to it. See, our winds right now, only 10 miles an hour. Doesn't need to be much to knock it down, but we're nowhere near that blizzard criteria of sustained for 35 miles an hour. Pressure continues to drop. We've been tracking an area of low pressure all week long, and that low continues to drop the pressure. What are we looking at? Futurecast, the rest of the afternoon and early evening. Some of these snow showers trying to get in here. I think Futurecast a little ahead right now on when we're going to start to see some of this. And we'll see some pockets here for the evening. So you will see a few flurries, maybe an inch by the time we get to midnight in some spots. Others, we're going to go to bed, not have any snow whatsoever on the ground. So it's really kind of very hit and miss for this evening. So here's 9 a.m., 11 a.m., we get into the overnight hours. So anything after 11 a.m., if you're going to Blue Jackets game tonight, doing anything tonight where you need to get home, probably about 11, you should really start thinking, I need to start heading home, because now notice we get a lot more snow in here. A lot of these heavier bands, a lot of this dark blue that's really pushing in. And look what happens even after 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. This really picks up in intensity. So really from about 4 a.m., things really start cranking. So you may go to bed, no snow whatsoever. You wake up, 4 to 5 inches already on the ground at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. Here's 7 a.m. Notice the entire state continues to be dealing with the snow. And then the rain snow line down here into southern Ohio. I really hope we don't see this. The good news about being all snow is that we have much less potential to lose power. It's the power lines that get hit with the ice that get dragged down, and then you get widespread power outages. Our issues with power outages when we're just snow, people out on the roads running into the power poles, knocking them over. You get in a little accident, you're taking out 2,000 homes. So that's why we're saying tomorrow, if you don't have to be out, there's no real reason to be out, stay safe, because it's going to help not only yourself, but really everybody. As we go through the rest of the afternoon, notice we continue. It's been dark blue since about 4 o'clock in the morning. Now we're to 5 p.m. So that's a good 12 hours. That's how we're getting these numbers that are unlike anything we've seen in decades, quite honestly. Futurecast now, hour by hour. We're going to continue to see the backside of that push in on Sunday. And then on Monday, we're going to be awfully cold. This is going to be our cleanup day. We're not going to add too much more when we're talking the snow showers. But the temperature, waking up at 4 degrees, that'll put wind chills about 5 below for us. We're mainly dry, may get a few light flurries on the backside as this low gets out of here. We get a little bit of wraparound moisture. How much are we talking? Well, I think pretty confident everybody's seeing about 8 to 12. We'll get these pockets here and there. We maybe get a little quick squall pop up. 14 plus. So these are numbers that we have not seen in a long time. And even where we're not getting as much, north and west of Columbus, into northwestern Ohio, really, from about Bellefontaine up to Findlay, over to Upper Sandusky. Not as much, but we're still getting 6 to 10 inches. So it's a huge event for not only us here in central Ohio, for not only us in the state, but as I was showing you, pretty much the entire country getting in on this, especially the midsection. 22, weather alert day on Sunday. Then temperatures back behind that, only into the mid-teens. So we do have a couple chances of seeing a little bit of additional snow. I don't see any big major snowstorm on the backside of this. Look at these morning lows though. 1 below, 3 below. You know what that means? You add in the wind chill and we're talking 15, 20 degrees below zero. So even if Tuesday we get the roads kind of cleared, kids aren't going to be standing out at the bus stop in 21 below zero wind chill wise. So I'd probably plan on Monday and Tuesday at least for schools to be canceled. 15 below on Wednesday. It just doesn't end, unfortunately, for us. So it really is going to be an unprecedented kind of 1-2 punch. Not only the snow, but the frigid temperatures back behind it. All right, we are live right now on our ABC6 Facebook page and our ABC6 YouTube page. So thank you for joining us. We're going to continue to follow the storm. That's what we like about this. We don't have to cut in on the air signal and cut and interrupt your programs that you're watching. We can do this around the clock, and we plan on doing this. We're going to do another update at 6 o'clock. But if you're just joining us, let me take you through it one more time here, exactly what we're looking at. So it looks more impressive on radar. This is not reaching the ground just yet. What we're pretty confident what's reaching the ground is some of the darker blue for us. Look how far this storm extends back. All the way down to El Paso, all across Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, and finally to us here in Columbus, 1,500 miles away. And it actually goes well past Columbus. Now we're starting to see the leading edge of that pushing in to the mid-Atlantic states. Seeing a lot of ice. That's what I'm glad we're not seeing. If we just see the snow, that's fine. We can shovel that. The ice is going to really cause widespread power outages through a lot of the mid-south there. And if we can just keep it all snow, which I'm pretty confident we can, there is a chance, especially into southern Ohio, we could see some of these, some ice and some sleet mixing in. So why aren't we calling this a blizzard? I mean, Phil, if you're calling for 12 to 14 inches of snow, this has got to be a blizzard. Blizzard component really doesn't have any snow component to it. It's winds, sustained winds, constant winds of 35 miles an hour, visibility, quarter mile or less. And these two conditions must be going on for 3 hours or more. And that's when you have, and you can classify it as a blizzard. We'll have winds 10 to 20 miles an hour. I don't think our visibility will be that bad once that snow stops. And that's the biggest thing. You get a lot of blowing and drifting snow in the blizzard, and that's what causes the big drifts and big mess. So tomorrow is an alert day on Sunday. The heaviest snow gets in here late tonight and on Sunday. We're talking in excess of 8 inches of snow. So we ask if you can, stay off the roads tomorrow, especially on Sunday. That's when we're going to be right in the middle of this event. Not only that, we're talking frigid temperatures. Of course, our Ohio Weather app, if you have not downloaded that, we continue to update the forecast around the clock, and we put the numbers and everything we're looking at right there on the app for you. 14 out at the airport. Feels like 0 though. East wind now has bumped up to 12 miles an hour. That pressure continues to fall. Here's the Futurecast, the hour by hour. When does it get here? Well, we'll start to see a little bit of snow. A lot of this is light accumulation at best, maybe an inch between now and midnight with some of these pockets here. So you can see not everybody sees it, but we'll get some spots here and there where if you are able to stay in the rest of the night, I would suggest doing so because at least you're not going to run into this. But when you really want to make sure you're in is into the overnight hours. Look how this blue really expands across the map. Look how it gets much darker than what we had earlier. These really dark bands, this is exactly what we're worried about. This is the heaviest snow coming down. This is 5 a.m. So really starts coming down heavy 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. Will continue 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock. But look at this. By the time we get to noon, most of us still dealing with heavy snow. Now, Futurecast saying, oh, we may get a little bit of warm air trying to work in to southeastern Ohio. So really from Portsmouth over to the southern part of Athens County, maybe over to Marietta, hoping that line stays south of the Ohio River because we don't want any ice to mix in with that. It just becomes more of a mess. And like I said, it becomes more of an issue with the power lines as well. All right, so Sunday evening, still right in the midst of it. We get into the late evening, we're pretty much on the backside. Then we're starting to get into cleanup mode. So first thing in the morning, got to go to work on Monday. It's going to be interesting. I'm not sure how many counties are going to go under a level 3. I think we will see numerous counties. Now, we don't do that. That's the sheriff's departments in each county really says, okay, this is a level 1, this is a level 2. There are going to be a lot of level 2s. How many level 3s? Level 3 is when you can't drive. They say, stay off the road, only emergency vehicles. You cannot be out on the road, only emergency vehicles. And we'll have a handful of level 3s. So that's why we hopefully you've prepared. And that's what we try to do when we come on here, trying to prepare you for what's coming, not panic you. You know, it's January. We're going to see snow, right? We're used to it. We lived here, most of us, you know, maybe you've lived here your whole life like me. This is a big snow, but it's nothing we haven't gone through before, and we'll be fine on the back side of it. If you're prepared, if you're listening and paying attention, if you're able to know, okay, I may be stuck inside 24, 48 hours before I can do anything. Let me make sure I have the food, dog food, medicine, anything that you may need over the next couple of days. That's why we come on here. That's why we've been talking about it incessantly, right, for about a week now, because we want you to be prepared. Here's noon on Monday. May get a little bit of wraparound moisture on the backside. Here are the totals we're looking at, 6 to 10 inches into the northwestern part of the state, 8 to 12 for most of central Ohio, and we will have pockets in excess of 14 inches. So wouldn't be surprised, you know, once you start using the ruler, goes up over a foot, you gotta make sure you get the tape measure out by then. All right, 22 as we go into tomorrow. That's the weather alert day. So we're quiet really for the next 7 hours. Then we really crank things up. We quiet down for the work week next week. Look at these temperatures though. 37 is our normal high. We're not going to be anywhere close. We're 20, 25 degrees below average for the week ahead. Wind chill wise, I didn't even add in the wind chill. Here's morning wind chills. Monday, 9 below, 21 below. Then on Tuesday, 15 below, 8 below. You get the idea. It is going to be a frigid week. So it's not just the snow we're worried about. It's these frigid temperatures that are sticking around. All right, we appreciate you watching here on our YouTube page, our Facebook page. We will do another update at 6 o'clock and any kind of breaking updates as needed.